What's up, Marvel fans, and welcome back. It's your girl Lana, and today we're diving into one of the most mysterious and romantic characters in the X-Men universe, the Raging Cajun himself, Gambit. Let's check out Gambit's complete secret history before the X-Men. Everyone, before we officially dive into the cosmic and chaotic world of Marvel Comics, just a quick heads up, you guys know me. I'm just a huge nerd who loves to read comics and share these amazing stories with you all. We're going to be talking about classic comic book storylines and characters and events just for entertainment and educational purposes only. We're not claiming any ownership of the amazing, incredible art. We're just celebrating the awesome Marvel universe and the amazing creators behind it. Thank you. Under the guidance of geneticist Nathaniel Essex, also known as Mr. Sinister, Amanda Mueller, and others, experimentation upon a couple produced an infant mutant with burning red eyes who they abandoned in the New Orleans hospital. Local underworld noticed this child's birth. The infant was believed to be Le Diable Blanc, the very person prophesied to restore the strength and honor of the local Thieves Guild, the White Devil. Following the instructions of the guild's prophet, the guild's aging leader intervened. He ordered the kidnapping of the child from the hospital and placed him in the care of a trusted ring of street thieves. This gang raised the boy, taught him the skills of their trade, and gave him the name Remy, the start of the smooth-talking master thief we know today. Did you guys know that Gambit's original costume was designed by artist Jim Lee, who also co-created him? It's the perfect capture of like his suave and his street smart personality.
Wow.
A lot of you know Gambit through Gambit and Rogue as his first love, and her name is Belladonna Bardreau. So at age 8, he actually saves her from a group of thugs. And she isn't just a normal little girl. She's actually the daughter of the Assassin's Guild patriarch and his future wife. He saves this little girl at age 8, and she actually is the leader of the Assassin's Guild, and he falls in love with her. So at age 15, Remy and his cousin, 18, attempt a risky rite of passage for their guild. They're captured by a powerful and seemingly immortal mutant named Kendra. Kendra eventually sells them to a trafficker known as the Pig, who plans to sell them to a militant group. Remy actually breaks free and grabs a playing card Iteen dropped and charges it with kinetic energy, hurling it with devastating force at the Pig. That's his trademark move. Discovered in a moment of crisis. Fleeing the cliff-top base, Remy's rescued by a trawler, but tragically, Iteen falls and drowns and dies. At age 17, he travels to Paris with his adoptive brother, Henry, to steal a valuable pendant named Étoile de Treacherie, the cheating star, as his next guild rite of passage. Now, you won't be getting any more details on this story. At age 18, Remy marries Belladonna Bardreau from the Assassin's Guild. So this little girl right here, he's actually involved with her for most of his life. And he actually marries her when he turns 18 years old. He marries her because he likes her. She's beautiful, and like a truce or like a pact situation between the Thieves Guild and the Assassin's Guild. They're like, okay, if we marry these two together, and then we can create peace and some harmony between our guilds, because the Thieves Guild and the Assassin's Guild, they be beefing over stuff. There's some ancient powers and magic involved. So here is the image of Belladonna and Gambit getting married at 18. As you can see, it's both guilds together on both sides. Somebody in the front row looks very angry, right? That's her brother. He does not like this. From what I've gathered in the comics, her brother is obsessed with her in a very weird way. Like, he only wants her to himself. It's very sick, and Gambit calls him out on it. Immediately after the vows, Belladonna's brother jumps up and he actually punches Gambit in the face. And he screams that the marriage is an obscenity, it's a shame, and he immediately challenges Gambit to a duel. They meet outside to prepare for this duel, and they sword fight. Belladonna's brother, he's part of the Assassin's Guild. So already off the bat, they're telling Gambit, like, you're not gonna survive this, bro. Like, yeah, we're thieves. They are the Assassin's Guild. Her brother pulls out a knife and stabs Gambit, like showing his resilience. He takes that small knife, all right, and he actually charges it with his kinetic energy, and he throws it back at the brother, exploding on impact and killing him. This is not good. This is all happening on Gambit's wedding day. Like, immediately after the wedding, they go to this battle, and the brother now, the one that's angry right here, is over there, is dead. It's not good. The guild demands blood payment. Gambit is willing to pay with his life. He straight up is like, I know what I did. I'm willing to pay with my life. All right. But his wife actually pleads for an alternative, and they decide to exile Gambit from New Orleans altogether. Exile from New Orleans, he finds himself in St. Bernard, heading to see the manipulative genetist. It's a hard word to say. Gambit's powers were glitching out, and he couldn't control them, and he basically had nowhere else to turn. Everyone he knew exiled him. He turns to Sinister, and he makes a pact with Sinister. We know about Gambit that when he makes a pact, he always follows through. Like, that's the thing about him. You don't have to pay now, but in the future, you will owe me one. Gambit accepts the deal. Sinister explains that he will have to cut up part of Gambit's brain. Gambit asks, how can he trust him? And Sinister replies, I still need you enough to keep my deal intact. So, what kind of deal would this possibly be? We later learn Sinister's initial price was Gambit helping him gather the core members of his private army, the Marauders. Though Gambit didn't realize at the time, Sinister's goals included a genocide against the Morlock community. Yep. That time. Like, he tries to 1v5 all of them. And these are, like, extremely powerful, bad, murderous mutants. Like, these are the bad guys. Like, they will kill anyone. They don't care. Laws do not pertain to these guys. Unfortunately, during the mutant massacre, so many Morlocks were absolutely murdered. Like, it's crazy. He tries to stop them even after he's been stabbed. Like, right here, he's been stabbed by them. He goes in, and he actually ends up saving, like, one little girl, her mom. He wants to save the mom and the daughter, of course, but the mom's legs are crushed. So he was, like, trying to save the mom, and the mom is just like, just take my child. Like, it doesn't matter. So all this massacre happens, and only one mutant girl survives with Gambit. And I have a picture. Does anyone know who the mutant baby is? It's okay if you don't. No, that's totally okay. Don't worry about it. And she has, like, these, like, bones coming out of her everywhere. And so I didn't know this. So when I saw this scene, I was like, oh my god, it was crazy. Mutant massacre. It left a really bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, including Rogue at for a bit. Comic run that brought him to the X-Men, Gambit Out of the Frying Pan, featuring a young Storm. This was really, really fun to read. I really enjoyed it. The evil Shadow King has been hunting a teenage Storm, trying to capture her and turn her into a hound. If you guys don't know, a hound is basically like a puppet. They have these, like, spikes on their body and these markings on their face, and they're like dogs. They're like human dogs. Like, you could turn into, like, a vicious attack dog. The Shadow King is trying to find Storm, who at this point in the comics is about 12 to 15 years old. They didn't say her exact age on here, but she's around the age where your powers come in to fruition, which is around puberty. So that's why I'm like, I think around 12 to 15 years old. And he sees that Storm is out and about, wants to make her a hound and raise her as a hound, especially knowing that she's vulnerable now. So as he's chasing her, he kind of, like, takes over your mind. He kind of, like, sends these, like, waves and, like, subdues you, and then that's what happens. In the future, it is changed. In the future, a hound bites you. These enzymes go into your blood, turning you into a hound, so you can't be bit. Kind of like being a vampire. I don't know when that was changed, but I know that in more recent comics, as of the last few years, that's kind of what happens. So Storm actually manages to escape his grasp, by electrocuting him with her hands like this. So every time he tries to probe her brain, she shoots like this, and it kind of zaps him out. So she's fighting. She is fighting it off as much as she can, but he's going to tire her out eventually. So all this is going down in an abandoned mansion in Cairo, Illinois. Gambit happens to be there because the owner hired him to retrieve some stolen paintings. So if you're wondering why Gambit is close to a city in Illinois, it's because it's right along the Mississippi River. So he's been given a mission on like stealing back these famous paintings, but when he gets to this mansion, he notices it's abandoned and he knows it's a trap. He sees little Storm, this little girl, being chased by these hounds, and he yells out, "Hey, like, little pups, get away from the girl. Like, what the hell are you guys doing?" So Gambit immediately leaps into action. At this time, when Gambit's first introduced, as you can see, his powers are green. You've always seen him with pink, right? Have you ever seen him with green? I do not know when it was changed or if it's due to like an inking issue or some kind of situation, but it is later changed. It's always been he imbues something with energy and he throws it and it explodes. He does this, but you know, he's not like super duper strong. He's not strong enough to beat the Shadow King. And Storm is really young still, so takes one out, and Storm is using her unstable powers, and she's trying to like make dust storms, and they're both kind of taking turns helping save each other throughout this mansion. Helping her escape, she finally explains to him that she has being hunted by this evil dude called the Shadow King, and that he will move heaven and earth to track her down. Gambit's like, okay, so what if he catches you? What will he do? And she says, whatever he pleases to me and to all who stand by my side. And it's like, at this time, Storm is very confused. She doesn't understand what is happening. And Gambit knows her as the leader of the X-Men, the Mohawk Storm. So he tries to pull out a picture and he's like, you remember this lady? And Storm is like, I don't know who she is. I don't know why he keeps showing me this picture of this lady, this adult lady. Like, who is she? And she just is like, she's very confused. I've deduced the fact that she's in Cairo, Illinois, because Cairo is the only name that she knows. It's where she's from. They don't say this in the comic, or at least in the one that I read, but I'm guessing she thought it was Cairo and she found her way there into this city called Cairo, Illinois, and she was hunted into this like abandoned mansion, and Gambit just happened to be there at the same time. It was like fate. Find out that Nanny and Orphan Maker had used something to regress Storm's age back to before she had powers so they could like use her as a pet. But Storm is like, she's so powerful when they do this, and she kind of knows what's happening to her, and she fries the electrical circuits right at the age of her about to gain her powers. She's really little, and it's actually adorable in this comic. Gambit is super compassionate and delicate with little Storm. He knows who she is, and he knows that she's young, and he's so kind to her, and she's super feisty because one, she's young, he's an older man that she has no idea who he is, and the only memories she has are of terrible people doing terrible things to her, men pretending that they were gonna be good to her having to do things that she didn't want to do because of what these men were gonna do to her. So she was very traumatized, very scared, and Gambit was nothing but sweet to her. It is so cute to see. She's sleeping for like the first time in days, and he comes back with snacks and shopping bags, and he's like, I got you some new clothes, I got you some food, like, let's get you taken care of. And he actually takes Storm back to New Orleans Bayou Country, and they have this adorable scene where they're having breakfast together, and she's kicking her feet, patting her tummy, and she's like a kid, like, wow, I was hungry. And he's like, yeah, well, you're a grown girl. And for the next few pages, it's absolutely adorable. They start robbing bad guys. They're eating at fancy restaurants. They're literally thick as thieves together. Basically Robin Hood. They're doing whatever they want. And at one point in the comic, Storm's accent even starts to change, and she starts picking up a Cajun flavor. And the villains do catch up to them. At this point, he has taken her to New Orleans, and it's in the middle of Mardi Gras. So it's these villains are chasing her down, buildings are exploding, and people are partying in the background in Mardi Gras, like woo woo woo. They start getting away, like he saves her again from these people. Like it's just constantly him saving her over and over again. And eventually they've come out. They come out in this like spaceship with the nanny and orphan maker because she's like trapped all of them together. And Gambit, of course, with his explosive cards in a spaceship, those two do not go well together. So the spaceship explodes, everyone comes falling down, and the fall kind of jogs Storm's memory back to her. Gambit is like, whoa, Stormy. It's adorable because throughout the whole comic, he calls her Stormy, and she freaking hates it. She's like, don't call me Stormy, don't call me Stormy, but he doesn't stop. He continues to call her Stormy. It's adorable. But as they're walking away, the comic ends. Tell me, Gambit, have you ever heard of a band of mutant heroes called the X-Men? So, this little comic run is so action-packed. It's so fun. It's mostly about introducing Gambit and showing how compassionate and charming he is. He ultimately brings Storm back to the X-Men after that, and he meets the beautiful Rogue, and of course, the rest is history for now. So what about his history surprised you guys the most? Did you guys know he was married to Belladonna before this? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed learning about Gambit today, make sure you hit that like and subscribe so you don't miss a single one of my Marvel deep dives. Until next time, everyone, don't forget, don't stop collecting, don't stop reading, and don't stop being awesome. Peace out.